Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Serge T. In this video, I will be talking about Monday Night Raw for the month of June 17th, 2024. What an eventful Monday Night Raw this was. A couple of major things happening, of course. A long-awaited debut of a certain group of a certain faction. And who is that? Well, I'll talk about that when the time comes. But let's talk about Monday Night Raw. We see Drew McIntyre walking down, backstage, down the corridor. He's here, and he looks intense as he's walking backstage. And then we hear the entrance theme of Seth Rollins, and of course the sing-along starts. I don't mind this because unlike Scotland and France and Saudi, none of the crowd here got out of control and sang every damn time somebody came to the ring, serenading this person, singing to this person. They kept it under wraps, and it totally justifies, and it really backs up what I say, is when it happens only overseas. Because now they got to one-up the other person overseas, the other country overseas that sang loud, so let's sing louder. But here in the States, they don't do that. They do it, but not ad nauseum. Getting back to this, Seth Rollins, he looks sharp. And for once, he didn't look like he raided his wife Becky's wardrobe. He had a white suit on and a hat to match. And what does he have to say? Is it in regards to the World Heavyweight Championship? What else could it be? Because he lost that title at WrestleMania, only to have it be cashed in on whoever the champion was, Drew McIntyre. And we saw that Damian Priest was the one that walked out as the World Heavyweight Champ. Welcome back chants are heard, and yes, it is great to have him back. It is. And Seth welcomes them back to Monday Night Rollins. How long has that not been said, and how long a lot of us wanted to hear him say that? It's great when he says it, and when he's there, it actually is Monday Night Rollins. And then cutting straight to the point, he wants back the championship that he made, because yes, he was the inaugural champion. And he figured the Money in the Bank is the fastest way to get back in the mix and get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. He said the World Heavyweight, he only got a quarter of that out as Damian Priest music hits and he comes face to face with the former World Heavyweight Champion and tells Seth that he's glad he is back. No sarcasm, real talk. But then he tells him this is where all the people rise for El Campeón, and not Monday Night Rollins. But Seth, he answers back and he cites some similarities between them. They both, belonged to groups, or he used to belong to the Shield, and Damian Priest belongs currently with the Judgment Day. They both won their first world titles at WrestleMania, cashing it in. They're the only two that have ever done that. But the thing about it, though, is that once he left the Shield, he grew a set, and he won a title on his own, but Damian Priest seemingly needs Judgment Day, even though he always says that it's his title. He even said it here. It's my title, meaning it's his title to defend. It's not the title for Judgment Day to defend. I gotta give it to him. It's not like Roman Reigns, so every title match pretty much Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo was the one that helped him retain his titles. I think I could count one time that he didn't do that. He didn't have someone doing that or depending on somebody. And then Priest suggests that they go at it for the championship at Money in the Bank. A quick way for Rollins he can kind of, supersede, and he can kind of go past the whole process of winning, going through the qualifying matches and going to Money in the Bank and becoming, the Money in the Bank holder again, and then trying to cash it in. So Rollins accepts, and he lets him know that as long as he's around, it will always be Monday Night Rollins. A very good opening segment. I liked it. I dug it. I think that these two really have good chemistry. I think it's going to be a great rivalry, great feud. It was only a couple of weeks ago, so you really can't build a lot, but there is definitely history between these two, and let's just see what happens when that match is made official. Now we have the Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight, and for the men, it's Jey Uso, Rey Mysterio, and Finn Balor. A very good matchup. Looking forward to that. And then for the women, it's Zelina Vega, Io Sky, and Kiana James. Another good one. To me, I was just thinking the other day, as much as I love Zelina Vega, but when she's in there, she is so much smaller than the other competitors. And it just seems like to me like she can't be taken seriously as a top threat for any championship. She's just there to fill in the spots, like for qualifier matches like this. And if she's in the Money in the Bank, she's just there to fill in the space. I hate to say that because I do like her. I think she's great, but that's just almost like that's her thing. She got that shot in backlash in Puerto Rico against Rhea, and it was great for her. A great moment, a great pop that she got in her own home crowd, hometown, her home country. But here she is, and she's gonna do well in the match, but she won't come out on top. Now earlier, Gable and the Alphas backstage, they were with Adam Pearce, and of course, Chad Gable wants another shot at the Intercontinental title. Now, Pearce suggests that he goes to the back of the line, but not Chad Gable if he can help it. He asked Pearce, to get him an opponent. That way he can show that he doesn't need to be in the back of the line, that he can just build his win and loss records and get himself back into the title shot, right? He wants a place to start, and Pearce knows who exactly that is, and who is it? Now up next is Chad Gable versus who? Oh, it's Braun Strowman. And why did I guess that in my mind? It just popped into my head. I bet you anything is Strowman. And that is one big son of a bitch, says Pat McAfee, as Strowman comes out. I mean, he did that. He started that, I think, last week or even a couple weeks ago, and it actually is funny. And it's not annoying. He really does it, and the way he does it is just like he's so in awe of Braun Strowman. That's one big son of a bitch. Later on, he goes, one big SOB. I guess someone maybe told him in headset, lay off the son of a bitch. I mean, cut it. Or maybe he decided to do that. I don't know. And then he started off, Chad goes behind Strowman. Why? I mean, he can't quite lift him for a German suplex, and why would he try? And then Braun tells the Alphas that Gable is a bully, and that they shouldn't put up with it. He hates bullies. If some of you seen that interview he had with Chris Van Vliet, or it was an interview he had, and he talked about it. Yeah, it definitely was. And he talked about how he was bullied when he was a kid, because he was just bigger than all the kids. And you know how kids can be cruel, bully you and all that stuff because you look different, right? So that's why, this is kind of touches close to home. It's real. It's not just a character that he's playing that wants to go after the bullies. He actually was bullied himself, and he doesn't like that, not only in real life, but he doesn't like it when it comes to being WWE and playing the character and all that stuff. And then what little offense he had, this being Chad Gable against Braun, didn't work, as he is knocked to the outside. And inside you see Gable hanging in there. He can only do so much. But Chad is used as a shot put and flung to the outside, and it sets up the Strowman Express. But he is stopped as Tozawa is tossed into the waiting arms of Strowman, and then he throws him back and throws him on top of Gable and knocks him down. And inside we see him scoop him up. It was just fluid. You see Chad Gable go off the ropes, and then Braun just scoops him up, spins him around, and then just hits him with that patented running power slam of Braun Strowman. He didn't have to run far. He just scooped him up and power bombed him. And that ended any chance of a climb up the ladder for Gable towards another IC title match. And then the Alphas are demanded to get into the ring by Gable. The fact that this guy lost on his own, and then yet he wants to blame them. He bullies Tozawa as Maxine gets in between them. Crutch and bum leg that she has. And then he takes her crutch and tosses it outside. And then he slaps Tozawa. And I in the crowd want Otis to beat Gable's ass. And he proceeds to push him clear across the ring, does Otis. And then the Alphas, all of them, leave the ring and Gable behind. And I read that there are rumors that Gable could actually be looking at the Creed brothers to form a new Alpha Academy. I think that would be a great choice. It would work for the better, and it's going to be a more serious faction. Add maybe one more person, and then you got an Alpha Academy. I love Otis, Maxine, and Tozawa, but they're always shown as a joke type of a, funny bit type of a faction. You really don't take them seriously. Although Otis and even Tozawa, who's very underrated, Maxine's getting better, but the way they've been booked, it's not really, they're not really taken seriously. But I'm glad to see that. A major step right there for the Alphas to get rid of or just leave Chad Gable. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. And then Finn, we see a little bit of, what's that thing that, what do you call it does? He has that pen, whatever he does, that thing, and he circles certain points, does Pat McAfee, and showing that Finn Balor last week got into possession of Liv's hotel key. You see that little slide of the hand, he puts it in his pocket. And then this week, we see Priest confront Finn about it, and Finn tells the World Heavyweight Champ that he was looking out for Dom. He was protecting him, and he got rid of the key. Did you really there, Finn? I wouldn't blame you. Then again, I know he's married in real life, but here, is he married? His character might be trying to, get with Liv. But then again, the way he is and loyal to his boys, I don't think that's the case. Looking out for Dom. But we'll see how that unfolds, this whole Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan. How it, unfolds during the rest of this show. Now up next is the Money in the Bank qualifier for the ladies. Very good match. And Io comes out first and looks to defend her crown. No, she didn't become the Queen of the Ring, but, she's the defending Money in the Bank, ladies Money in the Bank winner. And she wants to advance to eventually repeat as Miss Money in the Bank. Definitely an odds-on favorite. And it is made official that Priest will defend his championship in 2 weeks at Money in the Bank. Very good decision there, Adam Pearce, because that's definitely a good match. And of course, he is owed a rematch. So it's not like, how come he didn't do anything to deserve it. Yeah, he's a former champion. And he's Seth Rollins. I mean, and that's a marquee match. What are you going to do? Put Damian Priest with someone else that people are going to go like, why did he get the shot? This is an easy fix right here. Seth Rollins is a former champion. He was a former champion. He lost it. Give him a title shot. Then we see Kiana James enter, the 1%er, entering the arena. And in the ring behind her, you see a helicopter and stuff. They're talking about how she left the Wall Street or the corporate world for a shot at being a pro wrestler. Why not? You only live once. She's still young. She can go back to that corporate world when her career doesn't work out, or maybe she'll do it, kind of juggle both. I don't know, right? She could, when she retires, the day she retires, she can go to the corporate world and then come back and make appearances here and there, right? Go on those WrestleCons and all that stuff, right? And then lastly is Zelina Vega, one of my sentimental favorites. I love her, but she comes out and she joins in this qualifier. And I'm looking at Kiana James to win, and this is what thus caused Io to further unravel. She's been snapping. She's been demanding that it's time for the Damage Control to get more serious, wreaking havoc, showing why they run the women's division, right, on Monday Night Raw. But I think they want to also run the whole division in all of WWE. And then we see or hear Corpus Christi chanting, "This is awesome." And that's a bit much. I mean, it's a good competitive match, but nowhere near awesome. Let's come on now. You guys kind of like stop using that word so sparingly. Use it when it matters. You know, this is a great match, you know, but I'm not going to call it awesome. It's a good match. Now, we see Io with an attempted over the moonsault. And then we see Zelina Vega turn that into a code red, but it's broken up by Kiana James. She came close. But then we see Liv pop into the proceedings, you know, sticks her nose, her pretty nose, into Zelina Vega's business and distracts her. And oh, she's wearing Dom's missing jacket. He was asking for where's my jacket at earlier. And then we see an over the moonsault on Kiana James, and that wins it for Io. And she qualifies and looks to repeat as Miss Money in the Bank. You know, I didn't doubt Io, not once. Yeah, sure. I was pulling for I wasn't pulling for her, but it doesn't surprise me she won. But I was looking at Kiana James because, you know, she won last week. She made her debut, and then this would have been a good kind of momentum builder for her. Does Io really need Money in the Bank, right? But she's trying to make money, you know, the Damage Control strong, so she definitely has a reason to win. And Kiana James will have another day to win a match, you know, to build on her win-loss record. Now, Sami Zayn is here, and he will cut another promo. Of course he will. He always does. Will it be more of the same, or will he switch it up a bit? And he walks into Corpus Christi still IC champion. That's what he says as he was out there. And all the drama is over between him and Gable because he beat him in a wrestling match. Daddy did. He wants to move on, but he can't move on from the Alpha Academy. And he wants for them to move on when they are ready. He knows that they're going through some things, and it's hard for them to break away from the controlling ways. Who's the one that keeps saying it's like Stockholm Syndrome? And then we see Braun Breaker appear, and he's the next challenger for the IC title. Is he? Is he the next challenger for the Intercontinental title? It's like a perfect starter kit for Braun as he climbs the ladder here in WWE. And he tells Sami that he knows why he is here. He knows why he is here, and he is here to add him to the bodies he has laid out, and he is taking the Intercontinental title. And Sami raises the belt and steps up to Braun and says, "Is this what you want?" But Sheamus comes out, and we know he just needs this title, the Intercontinental title, to make him a Grand Slam champion. And he has been working for the belt for 5 years, says Sheamus, and he is coming after that title. Braun promises to kick Sheamus' ass because he is in his way. But Sheamus tells Braun he has no skin in his game and he is a kid. He told him he called him kid like twice, telling him to get back in the line and he will make him. But Sami wants these two to fight. He talks to both of them. He wants them to fight it out, and he's going to talk to Adam Pearce and make this match official later tonight. Now, a match where do we care anymore? How many times are they going to go around and pretty much, you know, just use these two factions to, or not even the two factions, like Dragon Lee's taking on Carlito. It's kind of leftovers from that time when, of course, when he was a member of LWO, when he cost Dragon Lee, attacked him, cost him a shot at being at WrestleMania. So how many times are they going to go around with this? What's going to be next week? Him and against Joaquin Wilde? You know? Joaquin Wilde and Ray against Carlito and JD? I mean, or Dominic? Oh, the father and son, are they going to collide again? I mean, Dominic, he's past that now. He doesn't need Ray anymore to push him or get him to a point of, oh my God, you know, He doesn't need him no more because Dominic is set. He just needs to continue, especially what they're doing now with him and Liv. It's kind of like a good way to show him on his own, because when he's dealing with Liv, he's kind of away from Judgment Day. You can kind of see him if he can carry a storyline like this. It's cookie cutter. We've seen it before, but we'll just wait. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But I think Dom is going to be all right. I think he's going to be okay on his own when the time comes. Now, the title victory for Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They are backstage. What did I say on my damn notes? The title victory for Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Let's just skip to that part. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire are backstage, and the ladies haven't come down from their high. And they know that now the hard work begins, and they're going to be taking on all challengers. They welcome in. But then we see Shayna and Zoe show up. And Baszler reminds them that she did tap out Jade, though the ref didn't see it. That was true. Don't know if it was part of the match or part of the creative that she was going to do that, or did she actually do that because she was genuinely tapping out? Who knows, right? But then in this match, it's Carlito accompanied by JD and Dom. And then speaking of Dom, Liv comes out and she is clad in Dirty Dom's jacket. And Zelina Vega comes out and brawls with Liv. Is there going to be a title match between these two? Because this is the second time now that they've interacted. But in all this chaos, Carlito delivers a backstabber to Dragon Lee, and he gets the win. And the victory, a much-needed victory for Judgment Day. They need that momentum. They need to prove why, like what Rhea always says, that Judgment Day runs Raw. So this goes to show that, and Carlito's his stock is going up now in the eyes of Damian Priest, that for him to be a full-fledged member. According to the commentator, he isn't. According to Cole, he's a prospect, right? And then, there's something from kind of a little bit of an extra footage from Clash at the Castle, and it's showing how Punk got his referee shirt. He got one from Jessica Carr before the World Heavyweight Championship. And that is the simple way he got it. It wasn't it wasn't like Clue, or it wasn't Hercule Poirot, that famous, detective, the Murder on the Orient Express, he, went through all of the witnesses, all of the suspects and all that stuff, and a long ass case and shit. No, it's just simple. Yeah, he got it from Jessica Carr. There was no world renowned, detective or inspector, had to solve the case, just right there. And then we see an image appear. And is it the signal of an appearance by Uncle Howdy? I mean, Cole and McAfee are heard saying, tonight's the night, right? I mean, what a way to keep it a secret and have some shock and surprise. I mean, they said it so nonchalant, so matter of fact. I go, and yes, it was, we had that one thing pop up, right? And it showed the 2 days, 52 hours, whatever, right? So this was the night, and if it's going to happen, it's going to happen tonight, right? Now, Chad confronts the Alphas, and they are leaving, and Otis says they are done. We are done. And then Chad actually tells them that he says when they are done, and then says that he will win Money in the Bank and do what Otis couldn't do, and that is cash in and become world champion. Now, Drew comes out next, and it is revealed that he was fined for putting his hands on an official, and also Corey Graves. And then we hear CM Punk chants. Of course we do. Drew says CM Punk, and the crowd cheers. Drew says CM Punk, and then the crowd cheers and continues the chants. And he can't do this anymore. Pretty much says that and says, "Screw this company, I quit." Wow, that was straight and to the point. And then Triple H is seen backstage, and then Drew withdrew, and then he tells him, "I'm serious." And something about he heard what Triple H said at the press conference, or something that he heard, and then he just yells out, "I gotta get out of here." And he storms out of there, and then Adam Pearce just tells Triple H, "I'll handle this. Let me talk to him." And he's trying to talk to him as he's going back. He's like, "No, no, no. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to have nothing to do with this." Boom, boom. He just leaves. And we've seen something like this before. And do we take this seriously? Who knows? I mean, isn't it that he recently re-signed with WWE? So, maybe it's another Jey Uso thing where Jey said that he's out, right? Right, and then he ended up coming back anyway, right? But we'll see what happens. It kind of leads to some drama, it kind of leads to some what's going to happen kind of thing. He's leaving Raw. Maybe he's going to go to SmackDown. I don't know. Now, tag team action with Damage Control versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Where have these two ladies been? We need to see more of them. One of the top tag teams in the women's division, even though there's not really much of a tag team women's division, but they're building it up pretty strongly with Unholy Union, the new tag team champions, of course, and then Jade and Bianca and Shayna and Zoe. And you just have to add some more, and you would have a strong division that they can compete in. And then I thought it was going to be over that quickly as Kyrie hits the insane elbow, but then Katana Chance breaks it up. And then the after party double team finisher gets the victory for them. Good. And surprisingly, they defeat Damage Control. Very shocking. And then at backstage, Io tells her girls that it's time for change. Something has to change or she will change it herself. Ooh, what does that mean? She's going to bring someone else in? Will she bring in Julia? Will she bring in another wrestler that we have not seen on the main roster that's coming from AEW? I mean AEW. Ooh. Yeah, sure, why not? They have a lot of good wrestlers there. Like Hikaru Shida, right? Mina Shirakawa. But they're right now tied to Stardom or AEW, so, maybe that's what she means. Now, up next is this great guaranteed banger. And it's Sheamus versus Braun Breaker with a possible Intercontinental title match in their future. Braun proves that he indeed runs the ropes at 23 miles an hour and drops Sheamus with a Steiner-like clothesline. But Sheamus takes it to Breaker on the outside with a diving clothesline off the apron himself. Hard-hitting action here, and of course, what else should we expect? But Breaker jumps off the apron and dives onto Sheamus, on the announce desk, connecting with an elbow, and takes them both out. Because they basically just went ass over tea kettle, as the saying goes, over the damn desk to the, pretty much Cole and McAfee had to, make, show that they still have their light on their feet and got the hell out the way. And I tell you, this match, man, had it all. And if you want physicality and brutality and literal collision of two Mack trucks, man, this was it. And I'm really pulling for Sheamus to win and possibly get a shot at winning that elusive Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker can wait. He doesn't really need it right now. It would just be something to reward him. And why not reward him a little bit later down the road? He's doing well right now. Does he need a title? He could do with a title, sure, but not right now. He's good. He's good right now. Just, let it, it hasn't come to a boil yet on the stove, that pot. Let it simmer a little bit until it starts boiling, right? But this match had to end, and had to have a winner. But then we see Kaiser interfere, and the match ends in a DQ. A DQ for Braun Breaker, it seems, right? And then Breaker hits a spear, driving Sheamus to the mat. And then we see Kaiser eyeing Sheamus and beats him down and targets his injured leg, placing it in the steps. And then he's going to run around and then do a what do you call that type of drop kick? A basement drop kick, right? And just as he looks to destroy it, he's going to look to take out that leg. Breaker spears Kaiser as well. A little bit of payback because he cost him the match. I guess that's how it went because someone mentioned it. And I guess he's the one that got disqualified on Breaker because Kaiser attacked Sheamus. It makes sense, right? They didn't say anything, but that seems like that's how it would go, right? And then Braun gets in the face of Sami Zayn. It looks like he wants to provoke the champ. So then the champ's going to be like, okay, you want a shot at this title? I'll give it to you. But Sami stood his ground and then he wasn't going to, play into Braun Breaker's games. Very good match. Very physical. Enjoyed it. I love that Kaiser got involved and kind of you're going to see that he's going to raise the ire of Sheamus, and Sheamus is going to want him some more of the of Ludwig Kaiser. Now, Dom wants his jacket back. He's backstage with Liv, and Liv tells him if he wants it, take it off, or you hear all these crowds going, ooh, kind of thing, And then as he starts to, pulls it down. First she goes like, let me help you, and she kind of pulls it down a little bit, and then he pulls it down, then Priest comes in and sees this. He's probably wondering, what the hell are you doing, Dom? You got mommy back home, nursing her injury, and then you're doing this. But then, Dom does take it back. And then Priest utters as she walks away because he's telling her, you got to leave him alone. You got to just get away from us. Get away because you got nothing to do here. And then she basically just says something to the effect that I can do whatever I want or whatever. She just said something to Priest, and the Priest was just like, man, she's crazy. He said it in Spanish, like she's crazy. And that she is. Now, Karrion Kross addresses the New Day, and he wants to do something really out of control. But Scarlett stopped him, so he kind of kept him from ending up in jail. And he talks about how, what if that fight was one-on-one, because last week, or previously they beat him down 2-1. And he wants this for next week. A one-on-one match. And he will leave his boys backstage, and Kofi needs to do the same. And he is hoping that it is Kofi, because isn't that how he likes to do with Woods anyways? He leaves them in the back, kind of implanting even more like dissension, right, between New Day, and then he ends it by saying TikTok. And then the New Day address Kross, and Woods looks to accept the challenge, but then Kofi interrupts Xavier and accepts the challenge himself. And I saw a little frustrated look on Woods. Is he realizing that Kofi is what Kross has been saying all along? But then he smiles, and then you get a little fist bump or, stuff like that. So, he's showing right now that he is with him. But pretty soon, it's going to be, they're going to come to a head. Remember when they were serious? Remember when they weren't taken seriously? Kofi and Big E, and then it was Xavier that approached him in a serious manner, saying that it was time for them to make a change and time for them to take things seriously. And then remember when they were New Day and they were serious, they were heels. I like that New Day. Not all this goofy dancing around nonsense that's outgrown them. They've outgrown it. They're grown men. They're not kids anymore. I don't know why they keep doing it. Because they look silly. That's just me, and I've always said that. Now, next week on Raw, Braun Strowman, Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed will face off in a Money in the Bank qualifying match for the men. And then for the women, we have Lyra Valkyria, Shayna Baszler, and Kairi Sane. I think that it'll definitely be Chad Gable and then Lyra Valkyria, but because of what happens later, I don't know. We can see a little bit of a switch up next week. We'll see. But then SmackDown is in on it too. And their side sees Kevin Owens, Andrade, and Grayson Waller. And will Andrade have his Speed Championship with him? I doubt it. That's useless. I don't know what's up with that title. Because you're not going to show it, you're not going to feature it, it doesn't mean anything. You might as well make it the championship for main event. and Superstars, if Superstars is still on. And then also another one is Randy Orton, Tama Tonga, and Carmelo Hayes. They're going to be involved in Money in the Bank qualifying matches. They didn't announce any women's, but they might have one added. You never know. Now the main event time. Jey Uso heads to the ring for his triple threat match in the Money in the Bank qualifier. Finn Balor represents the Judgment Day and hopes to win this match, advance to Money in the Bank, and then go after Cody. He did promise, Damian Priest that he wasn't going to cash it in on him. And then the Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio joins in and he will be representing La Raza, the LWO, and hope to win in his third Money in the Bank match. But first, he needs to advance. I'm surprised he's only been in 3. He's been in WWE for quite a while and this is going to be his third one. And then during this announcement, it was announced that Drew McIntyre has deactivated his social media accounts associated with WWE. Well, we'll see how this plays out, like I was talking about earlier. Now, this match was a great match, competitive and all over the place, but in a good way. We see 619s all around. I mean, Rey was feeding these guys boots to the face a la 619s, and then 1-2 Balor as he was standing on the apron. He was standing on the apron facing outwards, and then Rey just spins around with the 619, hits him in his 10-pack ab as what's his name, Pat McAfee. He looks like he has about maybe even 12-pack abs. Man. Guy's in great shape. Don't know how he does it, but man, I'd like to know his secret. And then one on the outside, and of course he gave him a regular one on the inside, and then one simultaneously to Balor and Uso. But Dom comes in and prevents his pops from flying off the top turnbuckle, and delivers a seated senton to Dom on the outside, but JD and Carlito beat down Rey, while Braun Strowman comes down to run him off. We see a coup de grace by Balor to Rey, and Balor goes for the pin, but then Jay hits an Uso splash, simultaneously, and then he gets the 1-2-3 and advances to Money in the Bank. To the Money in the Bank match. Then, we're wondering if it was going to happen. There's already almost towards the end of Raw, and then we see the lights go out. And then the fireflies are out. And is this Uncle Howdy? Remember, this is how it was like when Bray returned, in October of 2022, 2023, right? 2022. Then we see that very, very familiar illuminated door, and then it blasts open just like when Bray Wyatt made his comeback, his return. Someone crawls out towards the lantern. Sister Abigail, perhaps, or Abby the Witch. And then she points to her right, and we see a scary rabbit with big teeth. Or is it a rat? We see people right there laid out. Looks familiar. Looks like there's some superstars, maybe. And then, they're all bloody and battered. And it's not that much, different as we see backstage in the gorilla position. And I really couldn't see because I was focused so much on, on Uncle Howdy's, cast of characters that were there, that were sitting on crates, or they were there, as we see all of these people laid out. I had to read later on that the ones that were laid out in gorilla backstage were Triple H, William Regal, TJ Wilson or Tyson Kidd, and others. And then we even see Chad Gable taken out. And then Uncle Howdy emerges. They're on stage. He emerges with the lantern because that's what Sister Abigail or Abby the Witch went for. And then he's with, like I said, with what looks like to be Ramblin' Rabbit, Mercy the Buzzard, Huskus the Pig, and like I said, Abby the Witch or Sister Abigail. And then we hear Uncle Howdy say, "We're here." Blows out the lantern, and then Raw, goes to dark, signs off. Monday Night Raw was so good. It was very well paced. The matches were good. The lineup of everything was great. Really did a good job. The matches had good time for it, and they told their story, and it was very, very, very just all competitive. It was very competitive. Every match was all just good. It was good, and can't complain. Can't complain. Yes, we complain about Raw a lot, but recent months, recent weeks has been very, very good. Very decent at times. Some things are okay. I don't know if they were really that bad. Any bad Raws in recent memory, especially this year. Yeah, of course there have been some bad ones, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's gotten better and better. And this segment, there's some people that want to be different. It was boring. You see the comments, You go to those wrestling dirt sheets and those websites, and then the comments down below, and then you got people saying that. And some people are down with it. Some people are saying, I'm going to wait and see and how it plays out. That's how you should do it. How can people honestly say it's boring when it just happened? It was just dropped in our laps. You're going to say it's boring? It was very intriguing to me. My eyes were open. Holy crap. What the hell is this? What's happening? All these guys laid out. So there's some people that said that did Chad Gable get a bullet to the head, because the way he was laid out, and then you see blood coming out here. It looks like there's a hole there. I think Ramblin' Rabbit was going to town with that sledgehammer that said "help" on it. And speaking of these characters, these cast of characters, we know that Bo Dallas is playing Uncle Howdy, but who's playing Ramblin' Rabbit? Rumor is that it's a returning, Eric Rowan. Who, if that's Eric Rowan, he has slimmed down and he has, gotten in good shape. If that's him, Mercy the Buzzard. They're saying that it's what's his name? Holy crap! Oh, Dexter Loomis, Huskus the Pig, Joe Gacy, formerly of NXT. And then, of course, Abby the Witch or Sister Abigail is Nikki Cross. That's quite an impressive cast of superstars playing those characters, bringing the Firefly Funhouse to life. And I couldn't complain. I'm not going to complain. It's just a matter of now being serious and seriously booking this now. Because look what happened. They laid out a lot of people. Next week, are we going to see Triple H back and, talking to some of that? He's going to be walking around like nothing happened. Is Chad Gable going to be competing in the Money in the Bank qualifier? You know what they should actually do is postpone Money in the Bank. How about that, right? These guys have caused such damage that they've taken out the field. No one's going to be able to compete. And if people are going to compete, they're probably going to be scared that, oh my God, the Wyatt Six. And some of them are saying, some of the people that have thumbnails and that they have videos, the Wyatt Six, S-I-X, and then some of it's like, written S-I-C-K-S, like six, what is it? Or is it the Wyatt family? Is it a new Wyatt family? Is that the name? That's what I'm going to put on my thumbnail, the Wyatt Six debut on Raw. We're here. But we'll find out, the official name, but I'm sure it's Wyatt Six because that's what's been rumored. But like I said, do that, right? Or they've taken out so many people, maybe they're going to enter themselves in the Money in the Bank. Uncle Howdy might take Chad Gable's place. But you imagine if they cause such havoc that they decide to postpone it, and then maybe they're going to keep that off the calendar, and they're going to return it to WrestleMania next year, where it belongs, actually, because that's when it was great, when Money in the Bank was just a match, but a great match that they had, an exciting match that everybody was waiting on at WrestleMania, like with The Undertaker and whether or not he's going to retain the streak or not. Money in the Bank was great moments where we saw Edge win it twice, right, I believe, and then we saw Rob Van Dam win it at WrestleMania. I mean, that was great. But that's kind of a bit much. Yeah, sure. Are they gonna? They're gonna honestly, but they've caused such havoc, and they took out, the chief content officer. They took out Triple H. William Regal, who's his assistant. You took out one of the top, the head trainers, the senior trainers in T.J. Wilson. Tyson Kidd. One of the guys who was going to compete next week or next week on Raw for the qualifying match. That's Chad Gable, but I know there's some others that were taken out as well. I kind of recognize it when the ones on the stage. I don't know if that was Chante Diadonis or Cedric Alexander, or you know what I mean. Could have been you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. So it's going to be very interesting what's going to happen next week. Are they going to take it seriously? And those people that got attacked, they're not there. They're at home convalescing. They might show Triple H at home with something on his head, a bandage or something, and then he's going to make an announcement or something. Are people going to show up to work? They're going to show up at Raw. About SmackDown, are they going to make their presence known at SmackDown, the Wyatt Six? Are they going to go there and wreak more havoc? We see SmackDown come on, and then we see all these people laid out. Maybe it's going to be dark in the arena, and in comes Sister Abigail, Abitovich, and the rest of them. And then, they're just going to wreak all havoc, and Money in the Bank might not happen because they're there. They're going to control everything in WWE. That's how you need to do it. Shake it up. Cause something like this to happen. It seems far-fetched, but this will give them that incredible like just push that they are the faction. The Ministry of Darkness, who are they, right? The Brood, who are they? They may have caused some havoc and some wreck some damage and stuff like that, but this is Uncle Howdy and his Wyatt Six. You imagine what would happen if they cause this type of chaos, canceling a pay-per-view because of them. They took out the field. No one's going to be able to compete, right? But we'll see if that happens. I mean, that's my guess. That's my prediction. It might not happen, but it's it's something to put out there and make you think. Because they can't go back to just making it normal again. They need to make it like something happen. With their damage and their chaos and what they did to those superstars and the backstage personnel and all that stuff, sitting in Gorilla management and all those guys, all laid out. And then they're going to come back like it's normal. I hope they don't do that, because it will definitely put the Wyatt Six in a position where they're just another faction that they're just going to bury. But I hope they don't do that, and I don't think they will, because Triple H knows Bray Wyatt put a lot into the characters and all that stuff, and Bo Dallas, his brother, is taking over, and he is trying to make it happen, because this is Bray's vision. So why would Triple H do something? Triple H even made it to where he put himself in the storyline too, by him getting himself knocked out, getting himself taken out. So there's something there. And I'm looking forward to it. And for those of you who want to say that it's boring and all that stuff, you can think what you want, but come on, give it a chance. Give it a chance. That's all WWE is asking us, and we should do that for them. Because if you're fans of WWE, you're going to go along for the ride and then wait and see whether or not it's going to crash into the ground and blow up in flames. But we'll wait and see. But anyways, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And in closing, and as always, take care.